most civilians believe the military is all guns, glory, and eliminating the enemy on the battlefield. What many don't understand is majority of the U.S. Armed Forces consists of support roles that enable our troops to successfully accomplish the mission at hand.
So I was a 13 Romeo, which is a field artillery firefinder radar operator. Basically what we did was we would track artillery, rockets, missiles. We'd locate where it came from, and then we'd send it up to a higher division, and then they would either counterfire or just do whatever they wanted with the information. To train for it, in advanced individual training, which is after basic training, we had to basically do simulations inside a room as if we were in a radar trailer. But to actually train for it in the field, we do drills where we're setting up the radar, breaking it down, and placing the radar, and then once everything was set up for the guns and everything, we would just track the rounds and figure out where they came from, or make sure we know where they're at.
Well, I was a culinary specialist. Left the Navy as a second class. I got trained. My A school was in Virginia, and it was about a 2-month-long program where the first month was just basic Navy military knowledge, like history-wise and whatnot, and the second month went into actually culinary tasks on how to do basic. Mostly the breakfast cooking, which was weird because I didn't expect to learn that in-depth breakfast, and I learned how to cook for like the officers, all about like the garnish-wise, how to set up a fancy table, like all that. In my opinion, unnecessary, but the training was there. Yeah, it was only about 2 months, and then they sent me off to the fleet.
So my job, I'm a 7051, which is aircraft rescue firefighter. So I'm a reservist, but we go to boot camp just like active duty, and then we go to our follow-on MOS school, which is located in Texas. It's a 15-week academy. They go there, you learn all the basics of firefighting and aircraft firefighting, which we apply to every weekend and 2 weeks during the month, or 2 weeks during the year when we go and do our annual training.
What's a normal day at work for you in the reserves?
So like I said, we only go once a month. So we do the same thing as all active duty units do. They have 30 days to do it, and we only have 2. So we have to get all the normal requirements done, like our PFT or CFT, which are all like the physical requirements and all the paperwork logistics. So we usually get there pretty early, about 5 o'clock. We form it up. After that, we get our day started. So we start checking out our tools, getting all our equipment ready, and then after that, we go and do our whatever the training evolution is going to be for that weekend, to stay up on our requirements and stay up on our knowledge. So if we do get deployed, or when we're going to do our 2-week annual training, we can actually be ready and serviceable.
I read that if you want to pursue cooking, it counts for like college credits, like to be like a culinary, like an actual culinary chef, I guess. Professionally wise, that's how it would prepare you. How I like to think of it, it prepared me for the real world, because pretty much anything in comparison to that job is a cinch. You know, like I work at Starbucks. Long day here is an 8-hour shift. You know, like at least you get to go home afterwards. You know, like you're working 12 hours over there, and then you go to sleep and wake up in like 5 or 6 hours and do the same thing over again. You know, like there's no overtime. It's just, that's why anything in comparison to that, like as long as I get to go home afterwards, man, like I'm set. So like it definitely built up some resilience. It built up a work ethic, whether you want to or not. Like it makes you a harder worker.
Well, it got me better with computers, because it was very heavy on computers. It taught me a lot of leadership skills. I was a sergeant, so being able to run a section or run my squad, it was able to benefit me with management styles and leadership styles.
So that's the main reason why I joined the Marine Corps, is to help me in my civilian life. So currently right now I work as a firefighter, and the Marine Corps is very similar to what I do on the outside. As a firefighter, it's a paramilitary organization, so it's taught me a lot about like the dedication, adaptability, all the core values in the Marine Corps, honor, courage, commitment. It really translates really well over to civilian life. So it's been a really good transition, and get to learn that brother and sisterhood in the Marine Corps, which really translates to what I do every day at work. So it's really helped me tremendously, staying physically fit, staying mentally fit as well. So I think it's helped me a lot, not only just in my everyday life, but it really translates to work really well.
He didn't mention a lot of information that I would have liked to be shared with me, to say the least. And then they tell you that stuff too, like you're gonna see the world. They don't tell you that like you're going wherever. Yeah, you go to all these luxurious places like Japan, you go to Dubai, but at the most you stay there for like 3 or 4 days. And like being a cook, you get those days, you get like half of those days off. I'm trying to spend those days sleeping because like I'm overworked all the other time, you know. So like I was in Dubai like for 9 days. I saw Dubai for like a day or two. The rest is spent like either working or sleeping. You know, like it's not what it's cracked up to be.
He was honest about almost everything except the fact that he said like, oh, National Guard doesn't get deployed. But I didn't mind. I actually wanted to get deployed, so when they did call us up, I was pretty excited because I didn't want to be one of those people in the National Guard that never went anywhere for my whole military career. So I'm kind of glad that he lied about that. My family wasn't.
My recruiter was pretty honest. He was pretty straightforward with it. I feel like a lot of recruiters get a lot of bad rap because people who go in there, they don't know exactly what they want to do. So I went there with a pretty good knowledge of what I want to do and what I want to get out of the Marine Corps instead of just going, showing up, and then picking something for me. So it did take me a long time to ship out to boot camp. I think I was in there for 9 months before I shipped out and got my actual job. So I think going in there and having a good knowledge of what the Marine Corps can do for you or can't do for you is really helpful.
I don't recommend it for people that want to be out in the field like infantry or special forces, or they just want to be really active throughout their careers, because I was basically just in an office for 12 hours during my shifts, so it could get really boring once you emplace the radar, because then it's just sitting and waiting for an alarm to go off for you to actually do some kind of work.
I don't regret my decision to join the military. Like I say a lot of things like, yeah, it sucks, this isn't what, but like I got what I wanted out of it. I got my money for college, like I'm going to school right now, like with no money out of my pocket. So what I did, I didn't know straight out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to study. I didn't want to like waste my parents' money like for like just general ed classes. So I would recommend, if you don't know what to do, like, and you need some steady income and like work experience, like, yeah, for sure, you know, like it definitely builds up your work ethic. You make connections with these people. Like I still keep in touch with all my old Seamates, you know, like, and you build like it's pretty much a brotherhood. You build a bond with those people. I wouldn't recommend it if you're just trying to get away.
I would recommend it if people are trying to go into like civil service, like police, fire, border patrol, anything like that. I think it's really, really good, and you meet a lot of connections. But if you're just going because you're not sure what you want to do, maybe kind of reevaluate, take a step back, and really see what you want to do.